This week on the ZTV Sports Report,
we take a look at how Akron football performed against Howard and Penn State.
Women's soccer head coach Vernon Croft shares his thoughts after the St. Bonaventure match.
We overview the new college football playoff format and what it means for the Akron Zips.
All that and more on the ZTV Sports Report, which starts right now. It's the start of a new semester, and that means another season for our Akron Zips athletic programs.
We start off with our Akron football team as they opened up the season against Howard University.
The Akron Zips football team opened up their 2014 season Thursday, August 28th against the Howard Bison. There we see Akron taking the field, looking very excited to get the season underway. Next we see Kyle Pohl warming up, and whatever he did definitely worked out for him, because here on the second play from scrimmage, Pohl drops back, fires a pass to L.T. Smith for 57 yards and an Akron touchdown, making it 7-0. Ensuing Howard possession, quarterback Greg McGee dumps it off to running back William Parker, who then gets hit by multiple Akron defenders, and finally Justin March forces the ball loose, which is then recovered by C.J. Mazzell. Here we can see again, Parker absorbs some hits from Akron defenders, and finally Justin March comes in and knocks the ball loose. 2 plays later, Akron would capitalize on the turnover when Kyle Pohl finds Amani Davis open in the end zone for another touchdown, making the score 14-0. Next offensive play for Akron, Kyle Pohl finds Michael Traylor Bennett on the sideline. Bennett then makes someone miss and puts in another touchdown for Akron, making it 21-0 on just 5 plays. Akron would be held scoreless in the second quarter, but went in after halftime looking to regain some of the momentum they had in the first quarter. Second drive of the third quarter, Chisholm would punch in the ball from just outside the 5-yard line. Akron would then make it 34-0 with another touchdown pass from Pohl to Michael Traylor Bennett. And finally, backup Tommy Woodson, in for Kyle Pohl, threw a 44-yard touchdown pass to Austin Wolf to make it 41-0 Akron final. Akron starting off the season 1-0. Kyle Pohl finished the day 23 of 36 with 308 yards for 4 touchdowns, while only playing 3 quarters. Wide receiver Michael Traylor Bennett finished with 4 catches for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. Akron's pass game proved dominant, outpassing Howard by 332 yards, 400-68.
The following week, the team traveled to College Station to face the Nittany Lions of Penn State. It was a Big Ten versus the MAC in this special matchup.
Let's take a look at how our team fared in the matchup.
The Akron Zips football team traveled in a hostile Beaver Stadium to take on Penn State and their new head coach, James Franklin. Akron got the ball to start the game, and they were driving on the first possession. Here, Kyle Pohl finds L.T. Smith to get inside the Penn State 20-yard line. The momentum would stop there, though, as Kyle Pohl scrambles out of the pocket to buy some time, but he eventually gets brought down by the Penn State defense. Tom O'Leary was then brought on for the field goal attempt for Akron, but it was missed wide left. It was in time for Heisman candidate Christian Hackenberg to take over. Here, Hackenberg finds Deshaun Hamilton for 15 yards to get Penn State to just outside the Akron 20. Very next play, Hackenberg finds Bill Belton wide open in the flat, and Belton runs it in for the Penn State touchdown, making the score Penn State 7, Akron 0. Into the second quarter now, Penn State threatening once again, but Christian Hackenberg's pass to Deshaun Hamilton is intercepted by Akron's Martell Durant. Akron was unable to capitalize on the turnover, and a couple drives later, Pohl was unable to find Zach DeRazio on third down, and then Terry Bowden decides to punt the ball on 4th down and 5 from the Penn State 34-yard line with less than 5 minutes left to go in the half. This would make the halftime score Penn State 7, Akron 0. First drive of the second half here, and Penn State with some miscommunication as they fumble the ball on the snap, and Akron's Alfonso Horner recovers it. Akron would capitalize on the turnover with Robert Stein's field goal with more than 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, making the score Penn State 7, Akron 3. Christian Hackenberg of Penn State would answer right back, however, with Hackenberg's pass to Jesse James, who then fights his way into the end zone for the 18-yard score, making it 14-3 Penn State. First drive of the fourth quarter, Penn State looking to put Akron away but Hackenberg's pass off his back foot is intercepted by Akron's Bree Ford and returns to the Penn State 48-yard line. Ensuing Akron possession, Kyle Pohl scrambles out of the pocket, dumps it off to Juwan Chisholm, who then appears to get the first down, but after further review, he is called just short. This brings up fourth down, where Kyle Pohl hands it off to Connor Hundley, who is stopped well short of the first down, giving it to Penn State on downs. Penn State would take advantage with Hackenberg's pass to Jesse James, who then runs it in for a touchdown. James had only 2 catches on the day, both for touchdowns. James's second touchdown makes it 21-3 Penn State with less than 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Last chance here for Akron. 4th down and 10 from the Penn State 13, and Kyle Pohl's pass for L.T. Smith falls to the ground and would have put him too short of the first down anyway. And eventually, Akron would fall to Penn State with a final score of Penn State 21, Akron 3. Akron was unable to capitalize on 2 red zone chances and 3 Penn State turnovers. And here's Coach Terry Bowden after the game.
We couldn't, make something happen at the end, get back in that game, have a chance to win it. We played hard. I told them, I said, you can't play any harder than we played. We created some turnovers. The defense kept us in the ball game. The offense moved the ball well, but we couldn't get big plays, and so we had to execute everything perfectly. And we couldn't quite do that as well as they could defend it. But I thought, to be so disappointed at Akron for not beating Penn State is a nice thought that our players are. But the fact is, we played about as hard as we could play, and we won the turnover battle, and we just couldn't come in here and beat them.
We switch from the gridiron to the net as our volleyball team hosted a handful of teams in the Akron Invitational.
Our Lady Zips had a home court advantage. Would they be able to use that advantage in their favor? Our own Carrie Riccardi has the latest.
The Zips volleyball team hosted the Akron Invitational last weekend, finishing with a record of 3-1. Binghamton, Drake, Bryant, and Austin Peay were welcomed to the Jar for a 4-way matchup. Akron showed no mercy against the Bryant Bulldogs, beating them 25-20 all 3 sets. Amanda Bedell was the kill leader with 11. The girls then took on Binghamton, winning 3-1. With hard hits from Bedell on the right side, Binghamton couldn't keep up the block. The Bearcats hit well at times, but our strong back row was there to defend it. Akron won the first 2 games and then fell short the third, 22-25. They were able to end with a W in the 4th game, winning 25-21. Their one loss of the weekend came to Drake on Saturday. After falling to the Bulldogs 20-25 in the first game, the Zips made a comeback in the second with a 25-15 victory. The girls hung tough the next 2 games but lost 23-25 and 21-25. Kill leader for the match, Jessica Crowan, hit hard for the Zips with 13. A close second was Amanda Bedell with 11. Even after the long 3 matches previously, Akron was able to finish strong by sweeping Austin Peay in the last match of the weekend. Total, the girls had 37 kills to help with the victory, including Callie Mack, who had a career high of 23 digs. Mack also had only 4 errors out of 71 chances. Because of Mack's star performance, she was named Mid-American Conference's Defensive Player of the Week. Akron won the first 2 games 25-20 and 25-18. Austin Peay made a slight comeback in the third, but the Zips took the W with a 27-25 win.
We're going to take a quick timeout, but do not worry. We still have 2 more quarters left to go.
When we come back, we see how our women's soccer team fared in their week's matchups.
We take a special look at what a day in Kyle Pohl's shoes looks like.
Plus, we have a special 2-minute segment with Daniel Cermak and Matt Schisler.
All that and more on the ZTV Sports Report. We'll be right back.
You're watching ZTV.
Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Zips athletics.
We still have much in store for you, so don't touch that dial.
The quarterback position is the most important spot in the realm of football. It's been known as the ultimate field general position in sports. In college football, not only does that mean this quarterback has to take care of the offense, but his college life as well. Our own Elliot Georgiadis takes a look at what a day looks like through Akron quarterback Kyle Pohl's eyes.
As the Akron football team starts their season, they do so with high expectations, hoping to inspire school spirit and support for a team that in the past has been written off. Leading them in this effort is quarterback Kyle Pohl. Ohio born and raised, he has become an integral part of the team and is someone who has had faith in the potential of the program even when it has struggled.
I was recruited in high school. I like the staff up here. I like the new facilities, obviously, and I thought it was a good fit for me, and it was a place I could learn a lot and have some fun.
While things may not always have been easy, they have certainly been improving. In 2011, the team went 1-11 overall and 0-8 in the MAC. However, the gap between wins and losses seems to have diminished with head coach Terry Bowden running the show. So as quarterback of the team, what is it like for you to be the leader of Terry Bowden's offense on the field?
It's a fun opportunity. I've been a quarterback my whole life, so I've always had all the eyes on me, and I know what comes with it, being a leader. So it's been a neat process to go through and really develop and grow as a football player and as a person. And it's been challenging, but like I said, it's been good, and I've had a lot of fun.
This is obviously your second year starting as quarterback for the team. How do you think having a season under your belt has helped you transition into this year?
It's really helped in a way that I've gotten a lot more confidence, and I understand the game a lot better, and it's helped propel me in a way that I can be a better leader for my teammates because I have that confidence and I have that experience now. So I'm not as young and wide-eyed as I used to be.
With that kind of winning streak and motivation, the pressure is on for the Zips to do even better this year, much of it falling on the shoulders of the quarterback. Yet Pohl still finds ways to keep his head in the game.
I'm a pretty quiet guy, and if you ask anybody on the team, they'll tell you that I'm pretty laid back, and especially before a game, I just kind of relax, and I know I have to be able to handle a lot during the game, so I can't get too fired up and I can't get too distracted. So I try to stay right in the middle and just listen to some music maybe, or just relax and enjoy myself mostly.
Off the field, Pohl is a student at the University of Akron, and just recently he was recognized for his work in the classroom and was named MAC Scholar of the Week.
I mean, academics are very important to me. It's always been my #1 priority, and that's something that my parents instilled in me at a young age. But I'm an exercise science pre-physical therapy major here. It's busy. It keeps me real busy, and I made sure to add on a few classes to keep myself in a place to where I can be employed afterwards, because I know football is going to end at some point. So I mean, I keep busy, and it's something I take very seriously, and I really want to do just as well in the classroom as I do out here.
Given everything Pohl has to balance as both a student and an athlete with responsibilities to a team, he is happy to see the transition that has taken place in the program during his time at Akron.
Well, I've been through a lot. I've been here a while now, and with the coaching change and guys coming in and out, and how this program has been in the past, it's been through a lot, but it's gotten a lot better, and I feel like we've come a long way, and it's been a good feeling to get to the spot where we are now.
For ZTV Sports Report, I'm Elliot Georgiadis. Well, off the field, he works just as hard in the classroom and is one of the student-athlete personas that people want to see.
Kyle Pohl is certainly working hard at the University of Akron. We once again are switching from the gridiron to the net, but this time with women's soccer.
Our Lady Zips faced off with St. Bonaventure, who entered the matchup 2-2, looking to break 500. Our own Ashley Ritter has the highlights.
On September 5th, the Akron Zips kicked off the first home game of the fall season at the First Energy Stadium. The Zips played the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. In the 52nd minute, Bonnie's own Lauren Hill scored the first goal by hitting the ball into the right corner. The Zips soon retaliates with a free kick rocket past Bonaventure's wall, shot by junior Hannah Worth, to tie up the game 1-1 in the 65th minute. About 20 minutes go by, and Loriana Lenegro passes the ball to freshman Amy Dean, who then shot the ball long range and scored, putting the Zips in the lead. This was Dean's first goal of the season. Great hustle by number 25, Loriana Lenegro, and others who led multiple scoring opportunities for the Akron Zips. Throughout the course of the game, Akron and Bonaventure both had 8 fouls. Three more shots were attempted by the Zips within the next 4 minutes. In the 86th minute, sophomore Sarah Civic received a pass and headed the ball in from just outside the penalty box to reach the score of 3-1. The Bonnies attempt to have a comeback, but Zips goalie Alex Lovano-Hardin made 4 saves. Throughout the game, Akron had 6 corner kicks, while Bonaventure had 7 and 1 offsides call. The Akron Zips were victorious with an ending score of 3-1. After the game, our own Matt Schischler talked to Hannah Worth about how she felt tying up the score.
Felt pretty great. It was his first goal of the season. I don't know, just felt great to be surrounded by my teammates that really put in the hard work also.
Following his conversation with Hannah, Matt was able to talk to head coach Vernon Croft.
You know, I thought they responded incredibly well, and that was one of the things we talked about after the Cleveland State game on Tuesday, because we were pretty disappointed in how we played and how we reacted to adversity in that game. So for us to go down a goal on a set piece and that adversity, the way we responded, it's incredible. I'm very proud of our women.
For Croft, he knows Hannah Worth strikes at the right times.
Yeah, I think she's had a great preseason and even into the regular season, so it's been a good thing for her. It's a very rewarding thing for her because she deserves it, you know, and her goal in 2012 was a game winner as well. So she scores the right goals at the right times, that's for sure.
The Zips scored all 3 goals in the second half. Goals were scored by Worth in the 65th, Amy Dean in the 73rd, and Sarah Civic in the 86th minute.
It's the kickoff of the semester for not only us, but a slew of Akron athletic programs.
From the big Penn State matchup to the women's soccer matchup against St. Bonaventure, there were many key points that we have to touch on.
To cover those points, we pitch over to the 2-minute warning with Kara Carty and our committee of analysts.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's 2-minute warning. Today I have sports analysts with me, Matt Schischler and Daniel Cermak. And the 2 minutes starts now. All right, first question is regarding our football team. Do the Zips need to develop a consistent running game for them to make a postseason appearance?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think they need to have more attempts in the running game because then it'll be more of a threat. But right now, we're not getting a lot of attempts and we're becoming one-dimensional, especially against Penn State, because I feel like that's going to be a problem because eventually people are going to expect only the pass. And while Kyle Pohl's a good quarterback, he can't do everything.
I disagree with you. I think we'll be fine if we have a primarily passing game. The Zips have done it before. You look at last season, they did well against Penn State, really, without the running game. So when you compete against the MAC teams later in the season, we'll be fine against a smaller defense.
All right, I'm going to have to give this point to Daniel. I think obviously a passing game is very important, but I think without a running game, you're not going to get many wins out of that. So sticking with football, let's move to the next question. Are you concerned about the red zone offense after the Zips failed on multiple attempts against the Nittany Lions?
I definitely am because against Howard, we had big plays to put points on the board. We scored 21 points in 5 offensive plays. So then against Penn State, when we had to put drives together, I think they really either ran out of gas at the end or the defense figured us out and we couldn't finish on our opportunities.
I think we'll be fine when we get later in the season. Penn State will be the toughest defense we play all year by far. And when you look at the size and the speed of those players, we won't see that again. So I think when we get into the rest of our season, our offense will be able to excel against the smaller MAC school.
All right, and then once again, I'm going to have to give this point to Matt. And then moving to soccer, after the women's team's big win against St. Bonaventure, are you picking the Zips to win the MAC?
I'm not picking the Zips to win the MAC. I definitely think they're going to improve over the season, but right now they're in 5th place in the MAC East. They're 1 past last place, so I think it's going to be hard.
I'm going to agree with you, but I think they're close to getting into competition to win the MAC. They have a lot of talent on that roster. Lonnie Smith, who's a transfer from the University of South Carolina, she's excelled a lot this year. Look for her to be a star in the next season, so look for next year to be the year they make the jump.
Okay, I'm going to have to give this point once again to Matt Schischler. Sorry, Daniel. So that's it for this week's 2-minute warning. We have the winner, Matt Schischler, here, and we will see you next week.
That's 2 segments down, but we still have one more action-packed segment to go.
That's right. When we come back, we preview the upcoming college football playoff format.
And we take a look at what's in store for the next show.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
You're watching Akron student-run TV station ZTV, the Emmy-winning television image of the University of Akron.
Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report. This is our last segment, but there is no need to panic. Sartaj and I still have one last segment to ease your worries.
That's right. Just a friendly reminder, you will see us weekdays at 3:30 and 8:30, so you'll be seeing these faces consistently throughout the week.
A new postseason system is in effect for this college football season. The College Football Playoff, a system that pits the top 4 teams in the country against each other for an exciting finale. Our own Sartaj Ojala takes us through the College Football Playoffs and what's in store for the format.
Here is the new National Football Championship trophy.
This year, college football will be seeing an anticipated change to its postseason with the College Football Playoff. The change takes place this season and with the full support of its committee.
Our charge is simple: to determine the best teams in college football and seed them to play each other. Our work will be difficult. It will be rewarding at the same time. We know our selections will be well received by many college football fans across the country, but we also know we have important judgments to make during that process.
The playoff format has been on the horizon for quite some time and will start with a few teams to mimic some much anticipated excitement.
It will be 4 teams in semifinals, and then the winners playing in the championship game. The teams will be selected by a selection committee. So I think if I were Joe Fan, I would be thinking of this as March Madness for football with just a few differences.
With only 4 spots open, it's a race for each college football team, but what factors in to make the Final Four?
There is a 13-member selection committee that will make the decision. They'll make that on selection weekend. That criteria includes common sense things like strength of schedule, head-to-head results, results against common opponents, and certainly, obviously, the most important one is the team's record. And then also key injuries that might have affected, or other circumstances that might have affected a team's performance during the season. Very much common sense factors, and at the end of the day, this choice will come down to the subjective opinions of the 13 committee members.
The common worry of fans is if the system will support smaller conferences, a worry that the committee knows is present.
Well, the playoff is managed by the 10 conferences altogether. So there are, in our minds, there's no such thing as large conferences and small conferences. They all join together to manage the playoff. Part of creating the playoff, every conference was freed up to go and make its own bowl contracts, and all the conferences did that. Their highest-ranked champion, because of the playoff, has an automatic berth in either the Cotton Fiesta or Peach Bowl. So from that perspective, this new arrangement, the College Football Playoff, will be a lot better for that group of conferences than the old BCS was.
With the College Football Playoff, many fans are excited to see what their favorite gridiron sport will look like in January. Many college football programs will also be looking at their trophy cases, making room for the new college football trophy. For the ZTV Sports Report, I'm Sartaj Ojala.
That brings us to the end of this week's edition of the ZTV Sports Report, but do not worry, we'll be back with more next time.
Next time on the show, we highlight the Zips' big matchup against Marshall and Pittsburgh.
Adam Najum takes a moment to talk with us about his life as a University of Akron athlete.
And we cover the Akron volleyball team against Robert Morris.
Thank you for watching the ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Zips athletics.
We'll see you next time.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. To find out how you can make Emmy-winning media, visit the UA School of Communication online. ZTV. Make media. Make a difference.